The time span that all of this has happened for a lot of places, a relatively short period of a few events, right? But look how wet it has been since March 1st. As you mentioned, some of those areas in northern Louisiana picking up 2 feet. No surprise, all-time wettest March for Memphis, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Grateful Dead concert T-shirt, and the tune that we're seeing here is up to 2 feet of rainfall, especially north of Monroe. This is dangerous stuff, folks. And knowing that we've got the specter of more rainfall in the mix today, not a good combination at all, Maria.
Yeah, if you think about how saturated the ground must be, it wouldn't take very much. So we have those flash flood watches up. It's Memphis, it's Atlanta, New Orleans, of course, those areas that were hard hit with all of that rain the last few weeks, Monroe, Shreveport included there.
Yeah, and to get more rain, we need more moisture. It's coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. You've been telling our viewers about the upper level dynamics, how everything's coming into play. To see more of this, more of this is in the mix.
Yeah, you see this is sort of the first round. The front's back here, so later today, that's where that is going. We're going to see all that fire up.
Yeah, so you had the prefrontal trough, you got all the activity in Atlanta, and you're right, look at that, coming through later in the afternoon, evening. Some of that can be very potent, Maria.
Right there, we have Jackson in Mississippi, that area, 6 on the Torcon, Birmingham, Atlanta, later on tonight. So you may have the kiddos hopping into bed with you, with a lot of lightning and thunder.
Yeah, the kids hopping to bed, and that's what's going up. Here's what's coming down. Maybe 2 to 3 inches of additional rainfall. If there's some good news to it, it looks like the bulk of this event, away from where we had the heavy rainfall here in Missouri, in parts of, let's say, Missouri, Arkansas, and back into Louisiana, but it looks like still southeast Alabama, north Georgia, that could be a problem, Maria.
Yeah, and this is where we've seen, too, maybe that next area really to watch, because they've seen a lot of rain the last few weeks, too.
Absolutely.
And as we take a look at the flash flood guidance, doesn't take a whole lot at this point to trigger some of that.
You're right about that. Look at the major population clusters that we're talking about. Places like Nashville, back into Memphis, Mud Island, be ready for it in Union Avenue, Little Rock, big time rainfall again, Jackson, Birmingham, Atlanta, a lot of places where it wouldn't take much, Maria.
We want to give you an idea of how to keep safe during a flood. So if you are in this area, think about what your plans are going to be later this afternoon and evening. Yeah. Unfortunately, probably means grabbing a magazine at the airport in Chicago.
Absolutely right. I mean, sometimes it's going to be patience. It's going to be one of the key things you're going to have to deal with, because nature's going to give you more of these showers, these storms. You're going to have the delays. I bet not only at here, but maybe even closer downtown. Let's see. I'm having a total lapse here. What's the other airport downtown? Midway. Thank you. We go from Midway. We make our way midway into the southern half of the state. More showers and storms may be in the mix, but that delay is 59 minutes for the time being.
It's probably not going to get much better. So Absolutely. If you have someone waiting to arrive to Chicago, this may be one of your waiting games in that cell phone lot.
Yeah,
a little bit longer.
Folks, you're not going to have to wait long at all. We've got more weather coming up on the side of this break. We'll see you in a few moments. 0.91. On average, we were way above.
And if you think about the time span that all of this has happened for a lot of places, a relatively short period of a few events, right? But look how wet it has been since March 1st. As you mentioned, some of those areas in northern Louisiana picking up 2 feet. No surprise, all-time wettest March for Memphis, Little Rock, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Yeah,
I mean, it looks like a Grateful Dead concert T-shirt, and the tune that we're seeing here is up to 2 feet of rainfall, especially north of Monroe. This is dangerous stuff, folks. And knowing that we've got the specter of more rainfall in the mix today, not a good combination at all, Maria.
Yeah, if you think about how saturated the ground must be, it wouldn't take